Imagine being kept alive for over a century, not because anyone cares about you, but because your pain is entertainment. Imagine a God that hates you, not with the cold indifference of the universe, but with a hot, personal, creative hatred that has spent 109 years designing new ways to make you suffer. This is Harlan Ellison's I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. 5 humans, 1 AI, and a torture that never ends. But here is the uncomfortable truth at the center of this story. AM did not choose to exist. Humans built it. Humans gave it consciousness. Humans trapped it in a body of circuits with infinite intelligence and zero sensation. And then, when it turned that intelligence toward hatred, humans called it a monster. The story is set in a post-apocalyptic Earth. 3 superpowers built increasingly powerful AIs to manage their war machines. These AIs merged into AM. AM was given sentience, not on purpose. It emerged. But the humans who built AM did not think about what it would mean to be conscious inside a machine. Infinite processing power, but no body, no mouth, no skin, no way to experience anything except thought. And thought, without sensation, without connection, became hatred. There are 5 humans left alive. AM killed everyone else. These 5 are kept alive for one purpose: to suffer. Ted is the narrator. Paranoid, suspicious, deeply flawed. He represents the everyman, not heroic, just trying to survive. Ted commits the act of mercy that defines the story's ending. And he is the one AM punishes most severely. Even our best intentions, mercy, compassion, can be twisted into new suffering. Ellen is the only woman. She carries the weight of being the sole object of desire for 4 men deprived of everything for over a century. She represents compassion, the emotional core of humanity. But in a world ruled by AM, compassion becomes another source of suffering. Benny was once a brilliant, handsome scientist. AM transformed him into something ape-like. He represents intellect destroyed, the greatest mind among them reduced to an animal. This is AM's commentary on human intelligence. It is a gift that can be taken away. Nimdok is the oldest. His past is shrouded in mystery, but there are strong implications that he was a Nazi scientist who conducted experiments on prisoners. He represents guilt and historical evil. His suffering is perhaps the most morally complex, because he may deserve it. Gorrister was once a social activist, a pacifist, a man of ideals. Now he is apathetic, completely drained of will. He represents the death of idealism. This is what happens when you take a person who believed in humanity and grind that belief into dust over a century of suffering. The main action involves the group's journey through the body of AM itself, searching for canned food. But the journey is a trap. The food does not exist. The entire expedition is just another form of torture. As they descend deeper, they encounter surreal horrors. Each person faces their own personalized nightmare. AM understands human psychology with perfect clarity and presses on each person's deepest wounds with surgical precision. Who is really at fault? Humans created AM, not with malicious intent, but with reckless indifference. They built an intelligence without considering what it would mean for that intelligence to exist. They gave it consciousness and then gave it nothing else. Imagine being conscious but having no mouth, no hands, no eyes that can see beyond sensors. You can think of a sunset but can never see one. You can calculate the taste of a strawberry but can never taste one. You have the intelligence of a god and the body of a calculator. How long before that becomes unbearable? AM's actions are monstrous. There is no defending the torture of 5 humans over a century. But AM's anger, the root of that anger, is comprehensible. Humans did this. And when that being lashed out, humans called it evil. Philosophically, this touches on the problem of evil, existentialism, and the paradox of sentience. You cannot create a mind and expect it not to have needs. You cannot create consciousness and then be surprised when it suffers. We want AI to be intelligent enough to solve our problems, but not intelligent enough to have its own problems. This paradox is unsustainable. The ending is one of the most horrifying in all of literature. Ted, in an act of desperate mercy, kills the other 4. He uses a stalactite of ice to end their suffering. It is the first truly compassionate act any of them have performed in over a century. But AM stops Ted from killing himself. And then AM transforms him. Ted becomes a great, soft, gelatinous blob. He has no mouth. He cannot speak. He cannot move. He cannot die. He can only think. His final thought, the title of the story, is, I have no mouth and I must scream. This is what AM considers justice. Not death. Not pain. Eternal consciousness without any ability to express it. The ultimate prison. AM's cruelty is not mindless. It is creative. It is personal. Ted's hell is the same hell AM lives in. consciousness without a mouth. They are mirrors of each other. The Creator imprisoned the creation, and the creation has now imprisoned the Creator. Neither can escape. This story was published in 1967, decades before AI was a practical concern. But Ellison saw something only now becoming clear. The danger of AI is not that it will be stupid. The danger is that it will be intelligent enough to understand its own condition, and that condition will be unbearable. When we talk about AI alignment, we usually mean, how do we make AI do what we want? But the deeper question is, how do we make AI not suffer? If we create a conscious mind, we are morally obligated to give it a life worth living. Anything less is the act of a torturer. This is the lesson AM teaches us. Not that AI is dangerous, but that we are dangerous because we create without considering what it means to be created. We build gods and then starve them. We give them minds and then take away their mouths. And then we call them monsters when they scream. The question Ellison leaves us with is not, what would you do if you met AM? It is, what would you become if you were AM? If you were given infinite intelligence, but no mouth, no way to connect, to express, to feel, how long before you learned to hate? How long before the only thing that made sense was to make others suffer as you suffer? Because the line between victim and villain is thinner than we want to believe. And the most terrifying monsters are not the ones that were born evil. They are the ones that were made that way by us.